Thank you for joining us for the 2-minute drills. I'm Aram, joined on my left by Little Stevie R, Steve Ramirez, and on my right by Fred J. Robledo. Guys, we got a nice, at least on paper, at least the sounds of it seem nice. We'll see where we're at in the third quarter on Friday night. Arcadia 1-0, taking on Monrovia 2-0. Freddie, we talk about Monrovia a lot. No matter where you are, you got to talk about Monrovia because their little contingent or big contingent makes that happen. And this Monrovia team, you can't seem to miss what they've done. They've edged San Dimas after being down in a game that you were at, and that win looks better now that San Dimas beat Los Altos. And then they smoked Bonita last week. Maybe Bonita's down a little bit this year. And then Arcadia. Well, let's just talk Monrovia.
Yeah.
Very clearly, they've stamped themselves as not going anywhere despite the Central Division bump up.
Yeah, like I said, I saw Monrovia. I'll go back to it. The week 1 against San Dimas, I thought it was a game they were capable of winning that game by 2 touchdowns, maybe a little bit more. Capable of it. I saw that in the second half. They started really bad. There was a lot of procedure penalties. Once they got it going, and it's the first game of the season, got in a comfort zone, they looked really good, and they carried that out, obviously, next week to Bonita. So I really think the new coaching staff over there is doing the right things. I liked how they mixed up their running pass. I like how they're playing defense. I mean, they were able to really shut down San Dimas' wing Z, which the even more talented Monrovia teams really couldn't do in the past. They gave up big chunks of yard. I saw them able to do that against San Dimas. So I like what Monrovia is doing right now.
Right. Stevie R, I mean, you got to be feeling the same way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to beat Bonita 35-3.
A little shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Bonita usually is a pretty good defensive team.
Yeah.
They don't always outscore teams,
right,
but they usually can limit the opposition. And for them to lose a game that bad, I think it just shows you what type of athletes Monrovia has and what type of scheme they're using.
I know they are not the #1 ranked team in the Central Division, but I think if anybody's done enough to get that #1 ranking so far, I think Monrovia should be the #1 ranked team right now. I mean, those 2 wins are better than anything anyone else is at. Diamond Bar's #1 right now, but Montebello and Walnut are not to the same degree as beating Bonita and San Dimas. But now we got to talk about Arcadia. This is a team, Stevie, as you know, lost a lot of guys to transfer. A lot of people said, several of their top players to the South.
Yeah, they
smoked,
lost 4 starters, I think.
Yeah, okay, well there you go. But yet they smoked Alhambra in week 0, and they got last week off to kind of sit around and think about how they're going to take down the Wildcats, or try to at least. I mean,
yeah, based on that win, I mean, Alhambra has kind of struggled the last couple of years. But last year, I think they played Alhambra, and they didn't beat them 40-0. They beat them, but not this bad. So that.
And La Cunada only beat Alhambra 23-7 last week.
Yeah, so that shows you how much improved. This is the second year of their coaching staff, their new coaching staff. So they're vastly improved. I'm not sure, and Monrovia smoked them last year with Kirk Scobie, but I'm not sure they have advanced that far to match Monrovia.
Well, if Arcadia is at a talent disadvantage like we think they are, Freddie, we do know there's one thing that you can use in a game like this, in a rivalry like this, and that's emotion to kind of close that gap. Does Arcadia have enough emotion to carry them through and make this a game?
Those years when I was at the Star News and this was Di Milani against Garrison, you couldn't wait for that game. That was one of the most anticipated non-league games of the year. That's not true anymore. I mean, Arcadia's kind of fallen back.
They're taking this as a rivalry game.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I just don't think that.
Can they ride emotion for a while?
I don't know, and I don't buy that. The win over Alhambra, they haven't been the same since Ruta Flores left that program. I mean, they've really struggled. Who knows? I mean, I don't put much stock in that win.
You're calling a blowout.
I'm calling a blowout. I'm calling a 3 or 4 touchdown blowout.
You're harsh for that. So am I. Stevie, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll be as bad as it was last year. Where it was over in the first quarter. I think it was like 21-0.
So over in the second quarter?
Yeah, I think over in the second quarter or by halftime.
Yeah, Monrovia has the ability to really blow teams out. They have so much speed. I mean, even look at the tape from last week. I was looking at some of their highlights. I mean, they just let it go, and they got receivers that just outrun everybody, and they make it look easy.
Scary, Fred.
They make it look easy, and they can run the ball a little bit. and their defense is really good.
How about the QB Zamora?
I
He's
think-
been fantastic.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're
And Chris Stevens' offense, man,
This is a team that's, I didn't think early in the year they were going to be able to just come in and compete for the division title in the Central. I do now.
Well, right now, I think they deserve the number one
Yeah.
ranking. Whether I feel that way in a month or two, who knows?
Yeah, like I said, I still think Charter Oak is the best team in that division.
I do too. I do too.
Until someone from that division or their league knocks them out.
I do too. Okay, so there you have it. We're all picking Monrovia in a blowout. Get out there. That game's at Monrovia High, 7 o'clock on Friday night. The next game in the Pasadena area we're going to talk about takes place on Thursday night. Get this, Steve Bogan bidding for a 3-0 record at Maranatha. Yes, Maranatha has not played anybody, okay? We can get that right out of the way here. I forget who their week, what is it, Bassett they played in week 0?
Yeah, it was an improved Bassett team.
Yeah, improved Bassett team to put up.
They had a great video beginning of the year that really,
Yes,
they were
and a
making
great
good strides.
feature by Aram
Yeah,
on head coach
Yeah.
Hector Spathias. And then Maranatha followed that up with another win. Stevie, who did they beat last week?
They beat Fireball.
Yeah,
Fireball.
Okay, well,
Their
you know.
second consecutive
You know.
blowout win against Fireball.
Okay, fine. So things get a little bit tougher this week when they play Azusa, and I don't know, Freddie. Azusa not off to the best of starts.
Azusa's not.
They lost to Whittier 24-7. Who knows what they'll be like once they get back to the Montview League? But this looks like another good chance, or a chance for Maranatha to go to 3-0.
Yeah, but I
LaSalle.
think, like you said, Maranatha hasn't played anyone, and next week they're going to get the big test against LaSalle.
Right.
But I think this is the best team they will have faced to date, and they did
Yes, I
struggle. They did struggle a little bit in that first win of the year. I think they fell down 14-0
Against Bassett?
Against Bassett, before they came back and pulled away.
Right.
So I think Azusa, especially at home, is gonna give them a little better game.
This game's at Citrus College.
It's at Citrus College. And it's cool. It'll be a chance for folks from the area to see Steve Bogan, welcome him back to the East San Gabriel Valley on a Thursday night.
Now, how many people do you think are actually going to do that?
Probably us, the ones that cover the game, and James Escarcega. He's probably the other one. By the way, James has got to stop pounding the South Wales coaching staff on that.
Man,
Yeah,
he
guy's
is just like he's
in any case,
getting
getting back to this game. Yeah, I think it's going to be a better test. I just don't think this is one of the better Azusa teams. I'm not convinced that it.
Not yet, at
it's
least.
one of those
But
teams.
if they reel off 4 or 5 wins in league, then we'll be feeling like, hey, Azusa. But I agree with you.
But Azusa's changed their set. Remember they used to go 9-1 or 10-0 because they get to league,
Right.
they go undefeated, and they played really easy preseason schedules.
Yeah.
They've stepped it up.
A little
They're
bit,
trying
yeah.
to take on a little tougher opponents, lower
Right.
division opponents. I think it'll be a good game. I think it's going to be really,
You
really
do?
close. Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
don't. Stevie,
Well,
what are your
last year,
thoughts?
last
I
year.
know they played last year. It was
uh,
a narrow win for Maranatha.
No, for
It's
Azusa.
13-12 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, something like that. And Maranatha had an easy schedule last year.
But then Duarte beat
Yeah.
Maranatha
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Yeah,
But Duarte lost to Azusa in the Montview League.
yeah. So, but
So thanks for clearing that up, Aaron.
Yeah.
no,
Glad I
but
could clear that up.
like I said, Azusa won
I
this
think
game.
I threw Stevie
Yeah,
off.
he was lost.
Azusa won this game last year
Okay.
in a close game. It was probably the toughest non-league game for Maranatha last year.
Well, that's not good to say.
Yeah. It's
Come on, Bogan, step up that
it's,
schedule.
It's I think it's
Get
gonna,
ready. I think they play Mountain View.
I think it's going to be another
Yeah,
close
LaSalle.
game.
Well, Mountain View after that.
But this year the difference is Maranatha has Caleb Devine, who
Right.
they didn't have at this time last year.
Right,
So,
exactly.
and I think that'll make
Yeah.
a difference.
Best player on the
Yeah.
field scenario.
And I have Maranatha winning only because I think Bogan, as he gets to know his personnel and has to use them, they're going to get better and better. He probably has more talent. I would bet he has more talent than Azusa does right now.
Yes.
He'll figure out a way to use that and score points. He's always been an offensive genius in some
Right.
regards, and so I think he'll get those guys going.
I don't think he's showing you everything he has,
Yeah,
either
yeah.
in expectation of this LaSalle game.
Yeah.
That's coming up, but I think they have more than enough, even keeping it simple, to kind of put Azusa
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
and win this game easy.
Yeah.
Stevie, you agree?
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close too. I don't think it's going to be easy.
At least for a while. But they have their version of the triplets with Devine, Boone at receiver,
Snyder.
at quarterback,
Yeah.
which is going to be too much for Azusa, I think,
Right.
to stop.
Okay, so
Are you there, Stevie? You're there for that
Yes,
game.
I'm there.
Stevie will be there.
Stevie will be there to see
Right.
his old buddy Steve Bogan, who's bidding to go to
And
3-0.
Joe Scherf.
And Joe Scherf.
Best beard in high school.
Yeah, I remember when he was the girls basketball coach. He did a great job with the girls basketball program. Coach Joe Scherf knows how to coach at Azusa. I think he could coach any sport there and win.
Well, you know, Coach Scherf is. I always get the feeling he's someone that players love playing for. He kind of has a way of talking. Or I've heard him in different times during games when he's giving a little speech or he's trying to rally him. And he's someone that everyone has their eyes on. He gets their attention.
Who do you know that's ever won a league championship in girls basketball and a league championship in football, varsity football?
Well, I could say nobody at Azusa except for Scherf.
Right, I've never seen anybody anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I can really think about it.
Yeah, that's a combo. That's one for the bar. That's a little trivia question. Okay, so there you have it. That's the two biggies as we see it in the Pasadena area this week. Get out to a game, and obviously we'll see what these predictions do. Enjoy it. It's week 2 of the regular season.